Well, hello friends. Shanna Cramer here. Would you like to get better at drawing and painting in only 10 minutes? Join me for the daily 10-minute painting challenge. Today's challenge, we are going to have this lovely tulips. We're live right now, but once we're done being live, I'll go ahead and post a link to those tulips so you can go ahead and download them and follow along. Otherwise, you can just keep an eye on it up in the corner. One thing you'll notice right away is this background is different. Here it's a much more gray. Here, this is the closest color that I have as far as, pre-painted scraps. So I am going to try a technique that I think is going to speed the process up. Technique called cheating. Yes, technique called cheating. So I have this paper towel, some silver paint, and we're going to do some experimenting today. Ooh. Well, it is lightening up the background a little. And it's kind of giving it a nice look though too. So, okay, and then I'll try to also add some of that green. I just have a mess of green over here behind where the tulips go. The reason I'm putting this on with a paper towel is so that it doesn't get overpowering. Try a little more silver over here if I can. And so that it dries very quickly. It's practically dry putting it on the canvas. So that is going to help with the next few layers that I'm going to put on. All right. Let me see. I haven't done any sketching on this, so I'll try that now. I've got a tulip here. A tulip here. One here. There should be a little more of a gap between there. And one right behind that. And then we have some vague tulips off in the background. All right. And then, of course, we're going to have stems and leaves and whatever. We can handle that with the brush. So now on to my filbert brush, which, of course, is my favorite. And I'm going to come up with some sort of a green mixture. I know already that my favorite green combination in watercolor is indigo, quinacridone gold. I don't have those colors exactly, but I have phthalo blue, which is pretty darn close. I have quin gold. And then just to brighten it up, I have a yellow medium azo. Okay, I'll just drop some of that in there for brightening. And then some white. Actually, I'm going to need a lot more white than that, aren't I? Yes, I am. Okay, so going back to that big old filbert brush. Now that I've got my sketch in there, I can kind of see where my greens are going to go. So without putting them on too thick, okay, just going to kind of go right. Just make some darker, greener areas back here. Okay, I'm not intending to paint every single leaf right now. I'm just adding my darker areas, okay? Onward, I'll go in and add the whites. Now the whites aren't actually going to be white. They're going to be a little bit of gray. So I'll just take a touch of that blue. Touch of blue. Okay, so now I kind of want to do these background petals first. So I have a petal there, another petal here. Pick up a little more white. I've got another petal here. So we've got this big one in the background. It's probably not quite wide enough. Picking up a little more white. Got this large petal on the side that comes right in the front. And then I have more of a gray petal off to the right side. And my gray is a little bit greenish, but that's okay. Okay, and then I'll take white and add white to my edges. See if I can bring that down a little. Okay. Point is to not get bogged down in details. That's why it's a 10-minute painting. So, all right, stop, move on. Okay, I'll come down here and do this next one. So the second tulip, again, I'm going to have a little bit of, this is kind of that nickel azo color, or the quinacridone gold, starting from the bottom up. And you can see that color pretty clearly. It's actually a lot darker at the bottom. And over here too, on tulip number 3, you can see that color pretty clearly. And kind of on tulip number 4. As long as I have that color on the brush, I might as well use it. And on to my next color, a little bit of blue in that to make more of a gray, or dark white, let's call it. And I'll go ahead and get all those dark grays in here, dark whites, I mean. There. Okay, that works. So I'll kind of clean that brush out a little bit. Moving on to some just pure white. So big old pure white right down here. A little more in there and in there. Oop, that one got away. And a little bit more. We have this bright white petal right down the side. Running out of white there. There, now we get, that's how we get this petal to come in front of the other petal. That one's still blue, this one's nice and white. But then we'll come around to the back and kind of get that, hit that petal with some white. So we're only doing 4, and I think 4 is a fine number of tulips to paint. Where else can we add highlights? A little bit here, a little there. We'll just brighten it up a spot or 2. I know we're starting to get bogged down by details, aren't we? And we're 7 minutes and 27 seconds in, so okay, stop with the details, put the brush down, step away from the tulips. All right, so let's get back to that blue mess, or green mess that I was working on earlier. So now here's where I actually do want to make some petals and some stems. So the stems are going to be a lot more yellow. Let's see, nope, more yellow. More yellow, but also duller, so maybe more white. Okay, so we've got a stem over here. These are all going to be really bright right now. I'll add another color in a second. On the picture, it looks like there are a few more, but we didn't paint all those tulips, so we don't need all those stems either. Might be a stem back there. Okay, so then I'll move on to my darker greens, which is going to be the Quin Gold and Phthalo Blue. But also, so I have this dark blue, if you can see it, on both sides right now. But then I'm just going to go ahead and swipe right through that light green. So I've got light green on one side, dark green on the other. And let's try this. That worked, not bad. I'll take it. Let's try that a few more times. Just kind of picking up new paint here each time. The goal isn't to paint every single little petal, just enough to make it count. Just enough that you can look at it and say, hey, yeah, that's tulips. And we're at 9.5 minutes right now, so I think I can do it in 10. Next time I do this painting, I think I would like to have a few more grays. So I didn't really have any black on this palette, but I think I would like to use black next time and do a few more grays. So there we go. All lesson learned. Tulips. Thanks for joining. And if you want to learn more about painting, where you actually get a chance to follow through step by step instead of watching me experiment, then you can go ahead and join us over at Creative Just Live, which is a subscription that's by Creatively Uncorked. So you can go ahead and subscribe there if you'd like. We do live paint-alongs every Tuesday. Join us if you want, and we'll be there for you to help you out. We'll do individual instruction if you like, and maybe I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching.